Hey everybody, this is HD. Welcome back. It is currently Tuesday of January 19th, I believe, and it is time for Dopa versus HD round 4. And I believe it's round 4. I haven't actually checked the games that we've already played. I believe it is round 4. This is an ongoing series, one of the best Protoss players that I know, and we've always have some excellent games. Hopefully you guys checked out the last game we played, which was game 3, and this is going to be once again on Lost Temple. I think the spawn positions are a little bit different. Dopa will be spawning as a green Protoss down here at the 6, and myself, HD Gamer, is going to be the blue Zerg over here at the 9 o'clock position. So, last game that we played, I was in this same exact spot, except that Dopa was actually at the 12, and it was quite a battle, a furious, ferocious battle for the gold expansion. I was able to secure it, but unfortunately, I lost at the end because my opponent, Dopa, was able to use very creative use of warp prisms and blink stalkers. And then he was able to really harass me, and I wasn't able to hold that off, especially when those stalkers got to +3 weapons. And that's one thing that you really do have to be careful about if you're Zerg. And if you're Protoss, use blink stalkers. They are incredibly effective units against almost every single unit in the game, especially if you can micro them well. So this game, I was getting a little angry. I was like, you know, let's go ahead and try something interesting, a little bit different. I'm gonna go ahead and try to proxy hatch my opponent. Yes, you heard me right. It is a proxy hatchery inside my opponent's base. Notice I actually looped it around all of the buildings so that I can build a hatchery in the back of my opponent's base, Dopa, and I'm counting on the fact that he is never ever going to see this hatchery. In fact, I believe even if the creep were to spread, it would still stay inside this area where the fog of war keeps it hidden. So right now it is a complete mystery to Dopa, and of course, if you're gonna do some kind of a cheesy strategy like this, make sure you don't reveal it right away. Obviously, there's a probe in your base. If it doesn't see you try to grab a natural expansion like I'm trying to do right here, then obviously the Protoss player or your opponent is gonna know something fishy is up. So if you're gonna do something like this, bring a drone out and make it look like you were trying to go for a hatchery. And now your opponent doesn't know any better. So that's a small little thing you can do, but it really hides the fact that this thing is growing in the back of your opponent's base. So as you guys can see, I'm constantly keeping this drone here, trying to feign the fact that I am trying to get this hatchery down, when in fact I already have a hatchery going up inside my opponent's base. Now, the strategy for this is you can actually try two different things. You can try to build a bunch of spine crawlers as soon as this hatchery pops out, or you can just start to build attacking units, or a combination of both. And obviously, since I know my opponent Dopa has gone for this Forge Fast Expand, my drone originally scouted that out when it was coming in to build a hatchery, I know that he is not going to have any attacking units whatsoever. So I'm going to go for a fast Roach Horn. I'm going to use a combination of Roaches and Zerglings, and I'm going to try to break my opponent's back with this early super hyper aggression strategy. So as you guys can see, still trying to feign that hatchery going down. Dopa right now thinks that he has the upper hand because he thinks he's blocked my hatchery. This is my player camera view right here, making all attacking units at the proxy hatchery, and of course, trying to get rid of this stupid pesky probe. And over to Dopa's point of view, he has no idea until, oh, there we go, now he sees the creep. So now he definitely knows that something very strange is up, and he's gonna go ahead and pull all of his probes over here. But unfortunately, I already have some Zerglings. Now, obviously, that's a lot of probes. You're gonna have to micro your Zerglings away, because you can't handle that many probes, and you just want to buy time for your Roaches to pop out. So as soon as your Roaches come out, try to micro them, try to keep them alive. We're gonna go ahead and just stay on my player camera view here. And as you guys can see, I did try to do my best, but unfortunately just too many probes here. And it looks like they are going to get us a round off. Note though, I have killed many probes. Originally it was like 25 to 16. Now it is down to 19 to 16. And as long as I can keep this hatchery alive and continue to pour in more units from every direction, maybe I can still take away this game. Obviously, I'm still at a disadvantage. The proxy hatch was discovered very early on. So if you're in this situation and you have a single lone roach popping out here or there, you gotta micro. You need to wait until you have a large enough army to deal with this. And so my strategy here was just do the merry-go-round, keep this roach alive for as long as possible. Obviously on the creep, roaches do have a slight little speed boost. And at the same time, I can attack at the front door. I can mass all my other units from my main base to my opponent's front door. And then eventually, once I have enough attacking units, I can try to make something happen. But for now, the objective, just keep all my units alive. As you guys can see, very high APM game right now. And it looks like Dopa does have quite a few zealots. He was able to kill off all my roaches once again. But it looks like as long as you can keep this micro up, like I said, you do have a very good advantage. And obviously, I'm picking off as many probes as I possibly can. I think at the end of the day, though, I will probably lose all these roaches, just pulling them away. And really, this is just basic micro, pulling the weakest roach away, allowing your healthy roach to fight. And of course, here's where I found out, oh cool, I have a little narrow opening right here, and if you have less units than your opponent, then take advantage of this. This is all about terrain, hide in the back. Now my opponent can't surround me, I can just chill back here and attack, and only have to deal with one unit at a time. And obviously, at the end of the day, I've killed off so many probes that at this point in the game, it is still a very even battle. And obviously this is high pressure situation for Dopa because he has to deal with not only units at the back of his base, but he has to deal with roaches and zerglings, which are starting to mass up at the front of his base as well. Now, as we can see, it looks like Dopa is going for, let's see, a couple more warp gates. He's trying to get warp prism out, or not warp prism. He's trying to get warp gate out so he can morph in more attacking units. But he's got to deal with all of this early aggression. Here we go. I'm going to be attacking the front door, switching over to Dopa's player cam. And obviously he realizes that his cannon is under attack, but you have to decide, if you're a Protoss player, what do you do here? Do you split your units to deal with the front? What do you do to deal with the back? And you have to make those decisions in split-second timing. And the wrong decision obviously can cost you the game. So I'm going back to my view right now. And you can see I'm continuing to make roaches from both my main, both my proxy, not my natural. And it looks like I was finally able to break through the front door, and the proxy hatchery finally looks like it may actually pay off. Now, at one point in the game, I actually thought that this wasn't going to work. In fact, when I first started this game, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to proxy hatchery Dopa. I don't think it's going to work, but hey, it's going to be fun anyways. But I really think the main reason why this worked so well was because I was able to micro my units when I only had a couple, and just do the merry-go-round, keep them alive, and wait for more attacking units to come out. And that was what really, what allowed me to build up a large enough army to attack at both the front and at the back, and eventually break Dopa's back. But obviously he also played very well. This was not a build that I've ever tried against a player before. I just kind of thought of it right now, and so I hope you guys out there who are playing Zerg, maybe you guys can add this to your arsenal. It is a very micro intensive strategy. You have to be able to sneak the hatchery in, find a good spot to put it. And obviously it doesn't work on all maps, because some maps have a very small base size, and you need to be able to put it in a map that has this large base. And don't put it in the back right there, because the creep does in fact spread out and eventually reveal that you do have a hatchery there. So eventually I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and build a hatchery at his main base. Things are looking pretty good right now. I don't think I can lose this game at this point. And really, that proxy hatchery, I think Dopa said it best. He said, it's basically a Nidus in your base before layer attack. It's like a quick and easy Nidus, but of course it does have a lot of risks as well. I mean, if it gets caught, if you get, if your opponent deals with it quickly enough, then you probably are gonna lose the game. So anyways, I am just starting to mass up roaches right now. I'm starting to build up an army, and I know that at this point, you know, all I have to do is either drone up or even just build attacking units. My opponent is cornered in on all directions, and so eventually, once you feel comfortable enough, you can go ahead and push in and try to end the game. I'm gonna switch back to all player view now, and it looks like Dopa's economy now is pretty much in ragtag ramble shatters, and it is going to be a quick GG. So that is definitely, I think, one of the more interesting Protoss versus Zergs that I've played in quite some time. You know, I just like to try out different strategies, especially against close friends. Always fun to cheese your friends, but and then you know, hope that they're still your friends afterwards. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this broadcast. It is currently Tuesday. We're gonna have more replays and daily ladders as well as pro games coming out in the near future. I want to thank you guys all for tuning in, and this is HD signing out till next time.